What's up, guys? It's your boy Luke from Luke's Garage Gym, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today I am back at Body Solid headquarters, going to showcase a couple products for you guys that I think could be some value to you guys in your home gym. You guys ready? Let's do this. All right, fam. So I am back at Body Solid with my guy Steve and my guy Rich over here, and today I am going to showcase some of their racks to let you guys know the different varieties out there in the home gym. So the first thing I want to do is showcase this rack right here. So this rack right here is their PPR 1000. So let's give you guys just some features of what you get if you're interested in something like this. So first thing is, let's talk about the uprights here. These uprights are 2x2, 14 gauge steel. So going from that, so 2x2 14 gauge steel is gonna give you that budget price. So MSRP, here's the thing about pricing with a lot of things as we go along in time as it changes, but it's around, I think we're talking around 500 or so for the rack, which I think is very affordable for all the space you have in this. So one thing I wanna feature about this rack is first the height. So the height of this rack is 83 inches. So with that height, guys, is huge for your basement dwellers or your garage gyms, because a lot of people are always worried about, Luke, is this gonna fit in my basement? Luke, I have a bedroom gym, a 5x10 or something like that with short ceilings, is that gonna work? So 83 inches is the height of this, and some more features too. You have is your pull-up bar here, which shout out to, this is Powerline through Body Solid. They added some knurling to their pull-up bars, so if you guys are fancy knurling people like Luke's Garage Gym, you got some here so that you're feeling real fancy. I think before we continue to add more throughout this rack and talk about the features, something that I actually thought was really cool is they have their foot plate down here with the logo Powerline that attaches to the uprights on the bottom, which I think is a really smart idea for the instability aspect a lot of these racks have. Because you think about, not having that, there is a lot of shake, and you could tell, obviously there's plates on the back too, but I think that adds, to that aspect of instability. So, when you're getting something that's 2x2 14 gauge steel, you worry about that, how it's gonna be. And we kind of moving forward too, when you get something like this, guys, you have your J-cups, and you also have here is your spotter arms that come with it. And they said they rated this around 700 pounds. Which, again, anyone out there looking into buying something like this is not even gonna be getting close to that. If you're wanting to get close to that, they sell other racks in the 11 gauge steel commercial grade quality. This is meant as a budget-friendly option for the home gym goer that you guys should be looking into. And something too that I really like about this is you notice the space aspect of this rack. You have a lot that you can work with here. So I know with a lot of people, they look for power racks because they have the 4 uprights here, but you get another section in the back here. Maybe you want to use it for your attachments, so we were talking about the hole spacing. If it's 1-inch holes, you'd be fine there. So you could add attachments to the back side of this rack, and then you have the inside of the rack here to do your main lifts. You could even get crazy and do things on the front of it. So I know a lot of people in the home gym are looking to get a rack that's not just for them, could be for their wife or maybe their son. So I think it's nice that you're able to have the versatility aspect of this rack, which I think is a huge win. All right, so what I wanna do is talk more about what you could do to the system too that could create an ecosystem in your home gym. So with this PPR 1000, so originally, this is just created as a 4-post rack. So this is an upgrade. I was just talking to Steve before this. It's an upgrade to what they had before. And what the nice thing is now about this is you have the variety of attachments that add the versatility to your system here. And this is gonna be music to your guys' ears. So going over all these attachments around MSRP is about 700 bucks, which is really affordable for the home gym goer. So what you guys would get when you would add those attachments. So if you're looking to upgrade your system here, the first thing, honestly, a lot of people like is, so this backside here is an upgrade. So then you can have your 3-post system. So you have multiple ways to work out with your rack. Again, for a budget price. You'd also get your weight horns here, which honestly, guys, it's a standard when you buy racks. You need the weight horns. so that it adds more stability to your rack. And obviously, instead of getting a weight plate system, you just have it on your rack, which is just, again, frees up a lot of space in your gym. So again, you get those two things, and then on the front here, you get your landmine, which again, landmine adds more versatility. I know for me, I'm trying to do more landmine work, you know, from just doing rows, Viking press, shoulder press. You could rig up like a belt squat too in your system. And then you get right here too, is this just hook here, you could do it for like battle ropes or hook this up to your system. So like if you're someone who wants to get crazy in your driveway, hook up your battle rope to get that cardio. If you're someone out there, you know, lives in a warmer climate or, you know, in the summer, springtime, that's nice to have. You can also add, is there band pegs, which seems to be very popular nowadays in these home gym systems because there's so much research into how bands add just more tension to your movement to stimulate the muscle. So I think that's a really nice aspect that you can add to this rack. So that in general, guys, in your rack, all that I just mentioned would put it around $700, which is honestly extremely affordable. Again, let's talk about just like the different type of materials you're getting with this though. When you hear that price, you know, again, you're working with around 1-inch holes, 2x2 upright, 14 gauge steel, 700 pound weight capacity here on your safety spotters, 700 pound weight capacity on your J cups. So this is perfect for that beginning to novice lifter who is just looking to get started in their home gym, really trying to elevate their fitness goals at home, and it really is not putting a huge hole in their pocket. So I think as a consumer, I know for me, if I never started doing all this home gym content, this is something I would look at as a teacher in my salary. I'd be looking at more options like this, and that way you can add more to your system to really, really elevate your home gym gains at home. All right, guys, so we're gonna move on to the next piece they have. Again, this is through Powerline, through Body Solid. So this rack is just a little downgrade from the PPR 1000, is their PPR 500. And something I was talking to Steve about too, we wanted to highlight with their J cups and their spotter arms, they have this like nylon strip, and I can show a close up too. That nylon strip is just so it doesn't chew up your bar when you're doing your lifts in the front of the rack, like something like this, or you know, if you're inside the rack with a PPR 1000, or possibly if you upgrade and you're inside the rack here with this PPR 500. So that's a nice added aspect to that. Because again, when you're spending, you're more of a budget-friendly aspect too. You're like, are these spotter arms, are these J cups complete junk? Is this thing gonna chew up my bar? So they do have that, which is honestly a huge win, again, in that price point that they're offering to the consumer. So let's just dive into what this rack offers for you guys. So initially, this rack is just a half rack. So this PPR 500 is just, you got your two posts with spotter arms, and you got your fancy plate here, this Powerline plate, which is really cool just for added stability. But you know, I feel like for this rack, I want to do is kind of showcase and highlight all the different attachments you can add to this rack for your guys' home gym. So what you would do, so this is upgradable, and this is what you would add to the existing two posts here with your spotter arms here and your J cups, is that you can get, is turning this into a 4-post power rack. And by just doing that, you're around $500 for that, which is, I mean, $500 for a 4-post power rack is very affordable. So, you know, again, this is the same aspect as the PPR 1000. You got your 2x2 14 gauge steel, which this is 14 gauge steel. You know, I could have brought my fancy tool if you guys are really worried about that, but you know, Body Solid and Powerline through Body Solid is a very reputable company, been around for years. You know, they're not someone that's gonna skimp you and telling you the type of materials they have, which again, that 2x2 14 gauge steel is a sweet spot of the budget-friendly consumer in the home gym. So adding to the rack, you know, plus your pull-up bar here, which has got that fancy knurl, you would have your second post here with your spotter arms and your J cups, which again is the same aspect, around 700 pound weight capacity, which, you know, these racks are not meant for anyone who is a serious power lifter. Again, we talked about the other rack. It's just common sense. This is the entry level, maybe even the novice lifter type of home gym, you know, pieces here that you could add. And then if you are wanting to go even beyond just the 4-post, which is around $500, you could also do is add this lat tower. So this, it's kind of funny. This kind of reminds me of the very first rack I had in my home gym when I was LMZ Fitness. Anyone ever been an OG, let me know in the comments. You remember LMZ Fitness, a thing of the past. And this is the kind of rack I had, which served me well for, God, over 2.5 years. And when I look at this, you know, it kind of reminds me of a nicer version of like the Fitness Reality Rack. I think it's definitely an upgrade, you know, from Amazon. And I think too, if you were to add, this is like around 200 bucks. So you're under $1,000 for this entire piece in your home gym, which, I mean, for under 1,000 bucks, you have so much versatility. What do you get? Well, again, versatility. You have the front of the rack, you have the inside of the rack, you're able to do your high pull, low pull movements and a space saving aspect too. And I know there's probably the capability too, you could probably add some weight horns if you want to add more to the back of the rack for more stability. Again, it's always nice to do that for the extra durability aspect of your rack. And I know when something is lighter gauge steel, you want to weigh it down as much as you can. So always upgrading to weight horns I think is a huge plus. And I don't know, I think for something like this, guys, you know, if you're really looking into something in that more budget-friendly consumer market, you should check it out. Again, I'm gonna put all these different pieces in the description for you guys to check out through Powerline, through BodyCell if you're interested. And something else I think we should talk about too is like, when you're using this system, it's like, how smooth is this thing gonna freaking, you know, when I'm doing it with the guided pulley system, is this thing gonna break on me? You know, if I were just to sit down here, guys, and use just the low pulley system, you know, and the nice thing is too, you're able to, you know, buy your own attachments for your different pulley systems. And I do like the fact that with your lat pull down up there, you have that hook up there, so like it's not dangling down. If I wanted to do a squat inside the rack, I'm not freaking hitting my head because I'm 6 foot. But anything aside, if you're wanting to just come down here and just do a pulley, just a pull, I mean, it's freaking smooth, man. You know, it's got just your nylon pulleys here, which again is more of a budget aspect. You know, and something else too I think you should do is, you know, getting that silicone spray. It just makes a huge difference in the smoothness of the machine. So you put some silicone spray here, put some silicone spray in here. It's like butter, man. And I mean, you could probably stack a couple plates on each side to really crush it in your different movements. And again, you have this aspect here for lat pull downs, which if you really want, you know, you could get their bench over here, which is a little over 200 bucks. If you add that bench, you're still under $1,000 for this entire package from Powerline through BodyCell. All right, so wrapping this up, guys. So looking at the rack side to side, again, right here is a PPR 1000, right here is a PPR 500. Regardless, you are gonna be getting 1 or 2 different systems here under $1,000 or around the 1,000 mark if you're adding all those attachments, which again, I just think something like this, again, Powerline through BodyCell, these kind of racks need more notice in the budget-friendly aspect because, you know, there's, you know, multiple brands that are getting all this recognition. And I think something like this needs to be seen that is really, I think, has a lot of value to the novice and just beginning lifter market. I want you guys to let me know which one of these racks stands out to you the most. And I want you guys to also know too, you can add the lat pull down attachment to this rack too to upgrade to the rack to add more to the system. I think I really like about this is like with these kind of racks, you don't just buy the rack and you're stuck. You can add more to it depending on your needs. Because I know once everyone knows this, once you start a home gym, you're never done. You think you're done, it's a complete lie. We're always adding more to make our home gym the best we can be. So I want you guys to know which one of these stands out to you the most. And yeah, I'm excited to continue showcasing more products with these guys. All right, guys, so it's leg day today, and I need to showcase what I do on leg day. Oh yeah, oh. All right, you see those quads? Looking pretty thick, right? Joking aside. So I was just talking to Steve, and we actually showcased this on my last tour, is their fat grip line. So the one thing that I like about this bar, this is Steve's favorite bar, by the way, is you notice all the different angles with this, so it adds a lot of versatility to the training you can have in your home gym. So you notice when I'm picking this up and doing curls, it pivots with me, and you notice it has 2 access points here for the carabiner, so you have the access point for doing different exercises. So if you're looking to take this off, and then you bring your carriage up to the top, you know, obviously it's leg day, guys. We're gonna put this on here, And then from there, you stack it to wherever you want. So this is actually their functional trainer Powerline that sells really well. We could talk about later, but then you're able to do tricep extensions with this. Again, that's why it's nice. You have the different angles. You could even do a row with it. You know, Steve was talking about you could do lat pull downs with it, which again is 4 different body parts you have with this. And I think for me, I noticed that we were talking too, cable work has really been what I've kind of gravitated towards as I get older because of nagging issues with my elbows. And honestly too, I feel like cable work, you have constant tension throughout the movement, and it's just something that I feel like I gravitate towards the most. So these type of products I think stand out to the consumer who are, especially like me, who gravitate towards this. So if we talk more about what else they have. So this does not have knurling on it because you got to think about, think about the factory and how you would create this. You can't be able to get knurling through this because of all the different divots. But again, look at all the different variety you have. They also have this freaking giant curl bar, or just your standard straight bar, which you attach this thing on and you can do your triceps. And again, they have the knurling here, and what I like about this too is there's so much surface area on this, you don't have to worry about, like, first of all, slipping off with the knurl, and two, I feel like you're really focusing on the muscle too. And you gotta think about too, guys, with these type of attachments that are so thick, you're working your forearms, plus you're working your triceps too. Or you can do a curl with this. So if we keep moving on to what else they have, can't forget the actual tricep push down. Dude, this is like freaking bowling balls in the end of this thing, like holy crap. So you put this on here too. We're gonna get a little wild here. We're gonna go all the way. So I kind of want to showcase too. So if you put the whole stack on here too, I'm assuming this is this 2-to-1 ratio from one side, half of it. So you're still, I mean, whole stack though, if you're able to still get really good tension throughout the movement. And again, obviously ego lifting, because you know the home gym trolls think I don't lift still, but hey, it is what it is. It happens. So you have that. This is something I like because I've really gravitated towards looking into handles, because I was telling these guys chest press has been one of my favorite movements. So if you just get one of these, you know, you can do your unilateral movements, you know, like one arm push down. You could even do like overhead tricep extension. You can do like a standing row or like lying down seated row. I mean, honestly, with cable attachments, the variety is there, the versatility is there. And again, you're getting this knurled handle. You could tell this thing is built to freaking last. Some of these attachments you buy feel kind of cheap, and over time there's wear and tear. There is no way this thing will not last you 25, 30 years because of how well built this is. And if we keep going, what else they got? This is something that obviously I think should be more talked about in 2025, is the capabilities of upgrading your different attachments for your cable systems. You got here too, is you got your attachment here for your rows. And I think for me, I noticed that with my freaking, I can't even get this thing on, there we go. With upgrading my stacks, upgrading my different systems, you know, I actually just got a cable stack in that has 300 pounds. Am I gonna do 300 pounds? No. Could I get there one day? Maybe, but here's the thing. I want to upgrade to getting a handle or getting some sort of cable attachment that I feel secure with, because you gotta think about, if you get a junky seated row attachment and you're trying to push 200 to 250 pounds, imagine if you lose grip, it flies back. What's gonna happen? Injury or break in your system? So with these more high quality type of pieces, I really think you're getting your best return on your investment. And again, you got your handles here are knurled, and again, you can do high pulley movements with it as well. And then if you keep going too, see, it's hard to get on because it's like the carabiner. I think it's funny, I was telling them this is actually my favorite, is their lat pull down attachment. I swear to God, dude, this thing is just a freaking monster. Now, obviously, you know, you could hook this up and you could sit down and do your different movements with this, but obviously, realistically, you're putting this on your high pulley system. Like maybe if you're getting, like we talked about the PPR 1000 with the lat pull down attached to it, the PPR 500, you could upgrade to something like this compared to what they had. And you just have a lot of room to work with here. It's fully knurled across most of it at the ends here too. And again, as I age, I want to then incorporate in my training attachments that feel more secure. And honestly, I feel like using something like this really works those forearms, which I feel like, I don't know, you let me know in the comments. I feel like I don't really, there's like not a lot of exercise I do to work that. Obviously there's a couple things here and there, but like incorporating something like this into your training already targets that, plus the other body part you're trying to hit for something like this is obviously your lats. All right, guys, appreciate you guys sticking around and checking out the showcasing of the different products. Again, I'd love to let you guys know in the comments the products you think stands out to you. I will link all this in the description for you guys to check out. And from there, I'm really excited to come back, talk to these guys, and just kind of showcase more products with them in the home gym sector. So appreciate you guys checking out this video. Can't wait to bring you guys content soon on Luke's Garage Gym. This is Luke for Luke's Garage Gym. See you guys later.